How's it going, guys? Doing a update video on the DIY solar generator. I just wanted to go over a quick few issues I had, some of the tech specs that have occurred, and then maybe a few supplemental things to kind of help extend it so that you don't have to use as much voltage. You can kind of intermittently use it. A few of the issues I had since I set up the system was a cloudy day or two, just in time to run the voltage down. Unfortunately, the cloud coverage has gone away. I'm expecting rain for the next couple days or cloud cover. Uh, One of the big issues I ran into was the charge controller settings. Um, this guy out of the box, it's a pretty good charge controller so far. However, I set it up with lithium ion. It does not have the lithium iron setting in it, so I went through the Power Queen manual and set up the battery voltages and the specs to that. One of the issues I ran into is the battery spec and voltages that came out of their book was actually too high for the battery to handle, so it ended up overcharging the battery through a whole bunch of red flags, warnings, bells, whistles. I think somebody went running out, came back in screaming. Um, Unfortunately, that caused a little bit of an issue. I was able to go online, find some different voltage settings for lithium iron phosphate batteries, put those in. I haven't had any problems since. Um, the day it decided to overcharge, I went ahead and hooked up a 1500 watt space heater. Just put it on there, drew full down because I was up around like 14.4 volts in the battery, which is way excessive. This thing rated at full charge at 13.3 volts. After I ran that for about 15 minutes, it kind of brought it back down to normal voltage. I disconnected the panels for a little bit and then I just let it run for a while. Um, I ended up adding two more solar panels to it. Originally, I had four 100 watters. Now I have six 100 watters. The overall max output that I have gotten out of the six panels at this point has been 320 watts. I mean, it's a little bit later in the season. Sun's a little bit lower. One of the issues I ran into was originally when I set everything up, I put it in a spot that I thought was getting good sun all day long. I went out there about 12 o'clock and it was pretty well covered by trees, so I wasn't producing any power the first half of the morning. I ended up ordering an extension cable, moved all the panels out a little bit further, so it seems to be doing pretty good. But as I said, I'm still only getting 320 watts of a max output during the time. In the time I've done the test, the two freezers have run a total of 5.39 kilowatt hours, um, and the inverter has put out a total of 5.52 kilowatts. So there's a little bit of a deficit happening. That could just be because of how much sun or solar input I'm getting right now. Which I'm going to still continue to run the test. I'm just going to keep pushing days. Right now, I'm on a continuous 44 hours of both freezers running off of the inverter and charger. Uh, so far, it's been a pretty good setup, pretty good system. Obviously, I'm going to continue to do some testing. I'm not gonna add any more solar because I want to keep it right where it is. The charge controller is really only rated for about 530 volt, or yeah, 530 volts. I have no idea what I'm saying. 530 watts um, input. So right now, technically, I've got 600, so I am up and past it. But because I'm getting lower voltage than I'd need, we're in an off season. I don't really see a risk, or I'm not concerned that it's going to overcharge or cause problems. A few things that you could do if you do a system similar to this, you can just use it supplementally. So right now, I'm trying to just see if I can indefinitely run this system, but you can run, both freezers for probably 2 hours every, four times a day, and get, plenty of refrigeration time to keep everything frozen and covered if you're in the issue of power outage. You could definitely set up more batteries for more capacity, or you could set up more solar. The nice thing about building a system like this is it's plug and play, but there is a lot of different options you can do. You can go bigger inverter, you can go smaller inverter. I obviously don't need this 2000 watt inverter for just running these two freezers. The maximum they've pulled right now when they were starting up was 1300 watts. So 1500 watt, maybe even 1000 watt, because for the most part, when they're idling, 300 watts is all you need. Charge controller, bigger the better, because you can add more solar panels if you want to. I will probably try and move away from the 100 watt solar panels, and I'm going to go up to a couple of larger panels. You can find these things on Facebook Marketplace all the time for pretty inexpensive, pretty cheap. So, I mean, what does it hurt? You pay $35, $45 a panel, and a bigger charge controller, and you can charge your batteries a lot quicker. Uh, So, along with running the freezers for less hours, say 4 times a day, 2 hours at a time, that should keep everything frozen. But a full freezer will always, run less than one that's only partially full, 3/4, 2/3, a quarter full. So, the fuller it is, the better it's gonna be, the longer it's gonna last, the less power it's gonna use. One trick that I tend to do with mine is I fill up old drinking bottles with water, put them in there, let them freeze, so that if power goes out, you still have a refrigerated source already producing cold air. So it'll help the duration. It'll help keep it cold longer. Another thing you can also do is cover it with blankets. During the day when it's not plugged in, if you're plugging it in, it's running, keep it uncovered. However, moving blankets, regular blankets, anything just to insulate it. The more insulation you have, the longer it's going to stay cold and the better off you'll be. So, just a few quick tips for it. I think I'm going to probably end it at that. If you got any questions, please leave a comment. Like it if you don't mind, and share and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.